I started doing websites for a while as an agency thing, doing for clients, but discovered only within 1 year that clients are so annoying.
You're one of the few companies in SEO that have got VC funding.
We have huge domain database. We're gonna offer service, reverse cookies, reverse DNS, security services, stuff like this. Investors were like, we don't understand shit about this.
What makes a really good domain name?
Traffic has been, for some parts of our journey, about 50% of revenue. Do you know what has changed in the domain industry for the last 20 years?
Not a whole lot of things. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode where I'll be interviewing SEO entrepreneurs and experts from around the world. In today's episode, we've got an OG in the SEO scene. He currently employs over 120 people. He runs one of Bulgaria's biggest startups. He has an awesome domain name, wink, wink. And he has recently been selling PBNs and links. Please welcome to the channel, Kalin Karakehayov, ladies and gentlemen.
Karakehayov? Yeah, close.
Karakehayov. Okay, there you go.
I know.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you coming on, and sorry if I butchered your name there slightly. I tried to preempt it there, but it totally butchered it when it came out. Do you want to give people a bit of a background into who you are and how you got started in SEO and domaining?
Yeah, it was 2008. I started doing websites for a while as an agency thing, doing for clients, but discovered only within 1 year that clients are so annoying. So I was searching for ways that I can earn more for less effort. SEO was really easy back then, 2008-9. So yeah, I worked with clients and some content projects in Bulgarian, and then started hiring people, scaling. And in 2014, I think, 13-14, I had the same experience you had. I got personally targeted by Google. I got everything I owned the index, like PBN, normal websites, everything. Like everything that was on my quiz was gone.
Damn. Yeah, it seems to be a more common theme now that more people Google's got an enemy as a hit list that they're going after, and they definitely seem to be fulfilling it. So you're one of the few companies in SEO that have got VC funding. I know there's a few others, like you have like Market Muse out of Romania and you got White Press out of Poland and things. But how did you go about acquiring that investment in the first place?
When I got banned by Google, I started searching for ways to get more cheaper and better domains for the PBNs, because I had more than 1,000 PBNs the index. So I started building databases of all domains that exist, so we can, so I could monitor expired domains, catch them. This was easy back then, and there were less public lists. So especially in the CCTLDs, the need to have a database was very important, and it was a huge competitive advantage. That's when my co-founder Metodi joined the team. He's a very good developer. And yeah, so we built this database, started to monitor domains, but we were gonna offer some enterprise service like domain tools, because we have the second largest domain database. And then we went to it's a VC fund, but it's more like seed, pre-seed, because it was a very small amount of money, only 50,000 euro. But still, for us, it seemed like a ton, because in Bulgaria, everything is cheap. So, and we were a very small team. And we went to the investors and we pitched 3 times. First two times, they were just training pitches. And we were like, okay, we have huge domain database. We're going to offer service, reverse cookies, reverse DNS, security services, stuff like this. Investors were like, we don't understand shit about this. So first presentation was SEOs need domains, and we can find them and catch them and resell them, and this is like some market. They were like, okay, let's at least we see how this leads to the money, you know, how you can grow based on something more than dreams. So yeah, we were a bit surprised, but we got 50,000 euro for 12%. Then a year later, we had burned through the money, didn't have much progress, still figuring what we were doing. But since the money comes from Jeremy, the European Investment Fund, so it's not their money, and they have some that they have to spend. So it's better for them to double down than give up. So they gave us 100,000 more for another 10%. And the next year we started catching domains in many TODs, reselling, finding buyers. Actually, our first big buyer was Jason Karpuzis, Matt's partner. And I was just starting to learn who is who. It was, I think, 2016. I got an order for 300 domains or something. And I was chatting with this Jason guy on Skype, didn't know who he was. And then I sent an invoice and says, the invoice said Matt Diggity. I was like, oh, just made a big break.
100%, yeah. Jason's crazy when it comes to operational management and scaling and things and stuff. I think he's probably the next person. Actually, you've just kind of given me an insight there into who I should probably invite next on the show. So I'll definitely try and get Jason involved. When all the way back then, were they just mostly using that for PBN domains and kind of the whole Diggity links thing?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it went into Diggity links because there was CCTODs. Diggity links was maybe .com, maybe some side projects, but it's there. Yeah, everything went into PBNs.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay, cool. So apart from obviously the cost being very affordable, what makes a really good domain name, according to Kalin?
It can be three things or a combination: good name, links, and traffic. Some domains don't have links but have traffic, and it doesn't come from organic like we're all used to, but it's coming from direct or referral, mostly pirate streaming. These have played a big role in our success because when we invest into catching infrastructure and scripts and developers and accreditations, we need to catch all of the good domains to make the return on investment. And SEO domains is one thing. The names are very competitive because all the domainers try to catch them, but traffic is a bit in the middle. Some domains know traffic well, others don't. Most don't actually. So traffic has been for some parts of our journey about 50% of revenue, which is quite it played an unexpectedly big part. SEO domains are now the biggest part. Then comes traffic, and then comes names.
Wow. Okay, that makes it makes a lot of sense. Actually, I do know a lot of domain sellers that always say, look, if you're holding domain names, put a landing page on it and get some revenue generating off of it, right? If you're just going to hold on to domain names and not let them make you money, then you're wasting money, right? So in terms of domain name relevancy, obviously in English, it matters quite a lot, and Google's gotten better at understanding NLP and all these ML algorithms and things, and kind of contextually understanding semantic relevancy. Does relevancy matter at domain level as much outside of English?
I think in some other languages that Google will understand well, maybe top 10 other languages, it will have some significance. But the more weird the language is, and especially if in some weird alphabet like Thai or Japanese or Chinese, then Google won't understand the thing I think about relevancy, because it's quite hard. It's another word to crack it there, I think, for the algorithms and the machine learning and everything.
Yeah, 100%. It's a lot of like correlation-based stuff rather than actually being semantically relevant and stuff. So when domains drop and kind of get reset in terms of their age, does that affect their efficacy in Google? Obviously, over time, we've had this massive debate between expired domains versus age domains. I have a very clear opinion on this. Does domain age and that kind of expiration affect the efficacy in Google?
I think it depends on how big the pools are of the expired ones and the non-drop ones, and how are they used. And I don't think it's that something Google put there manually, but rather the machine learning learned to use the quiz data in some ways that probably the Google engineers didn't even think it could be useful, because not only the drop dates, I know case studies that affected, but also if the domain was in name right, where the drop catch domains go, the drop once, it was a bad signal according to some people. And this is definitely not something I think a Google engineer will put in the algorithm, like literally look for this registrar. So I think the machine learning was just finding new data points. But I think that maybe for some time there was a lot of usage of drop domains for something like nowadays, for example, Indonesian iGaming, casino guys, they go through GoDaddy auctions and pick hundreds of domains per day, and they all turn to churn and burn Indonesian money sites. So if something that large scale is going on, it's gonna put like a bump in the graphs and the distributions, and then maybe the algorithm will do some countermeasure. But if it's done in moderation, I don't think that it will play an important role. I think if there was any role, it will get smaller over time as more and more normal domains of normal people drop and get used because there's no good domains available. So I don't think that Google will have a different algorithm for a domain with 5 links that drops naturally and gets re-registered naturally, and 500 link domain that drops and gets re-registered by SEO for money site. So I think it's all about the pool size, the distributions. There's definitely something there. The CCTLDs that we do, they don't have a easy creation date in WHOIS, or it's harder for Google to pull. So I think they're completely safe. So if you get like a D domain and use it in Germany, you definitely save that it's going to be treated as a non-drop domain. But for the .coms, maybe some effect still, not sure.
Yeah, so a lot of domainers have said that they prefer to rely on Google's cache than Google's WHOIS, right? In terms of their ability to kind of look into the site's history. Do you put much into Google looking at its old cached pages at in terms of its updated variations? In terms of, if you have got a domain and it had a website on it a year ago and you put a PBN on it, is that going to be affected because Google's cache still has that site from a year ago in the cache?
What I know is that for a very big money site, especially these ambitious AI projects like the Conch Health and stuff, it's very important if you want to index a lot of pages to have the domain that previously had a lot of pages indexed. It may no longer have them in the index, maybe only had 100,000 pages. Now it may have 100, but it's very quick to go for to 100,000 again, because it somehow has the big crow budget still there. So this is something that definitely is important if you're doing something big. But I think for PBNs or 301s, it's irrelevant whether the domain was dropped or has something indexed. It's only for money sites where it's more relevant, the transition from what was there before to what is there now.
And so how do you think domains are going to be affected by AI, right? So some people think that AI is going to remove the TLD system from the world and that we're going to have some weird scraping system, which I don't see coming to fruition at all. I still think that you're going to need the TLD system, even in terms of like a prioritization system where the MLs and algos can kind of prioritize source level domains. How do you think AI is going to affect domaining going forward?
I'm going to answer with a question. Do you know what has changed in the domain industry for the last 20 years?
Not a whole lot of things.
Nothing, like nothing at all. It's the most stable thing in the internet. Actually, domains have been registered, transferred, dropped, and all of this is standardized. Yeah, nothing is really changing. Some country may do some small changes with their TLD, but the system is built to be to perform in the only way that it can possibly exist and perform. Big changes are impossible because there are so many like stacked players. There's a registry and the registrars. There are thousands of icon registrars. If you make a change for the .com, 4,000 different independent companies must apply their change, and some of them have resellers. So their resellers too have to implement the change. It's just impossible. So also ICANN, the organization that runs domains, it's like a big politically involved NGO, and it's a multi-stakeholder model. This means that private companies have a say, and small businesses have a say, and the government has a say, and like NSA and FBI has a say. So nothing gets done there because everyone has a say. Like everyone can veto everything and just put everything into like filibuster to end this discussion. So it's one of the most, I think, slow-moving organizations on the planet. So the system is slow moving and the organization behind it is slow moving. So it's just nothing is happening. And I don't think that AI has anything to do with the domains, which are the real estate of the internet.
Yeah, it's great news for you when things don't move so fast, right? Because it means that
certainly we don't want anything to happen with domains.
Exactly. And now for a quick message from our sponsor, Search Intelligence. If you're looking for digital PR campaigns, what you're about to see should impress you.
High-tier backlinks in publications such as Daily Post, MSN, Birmingham Mail, and many more. Let me show you how we've done it. The campaign was pretty simple. We looked at the number of Instagram followers for each contestant in the Dancing on Ice show that aired in January. We sorted the contestants by the most popular ones. Now we've had the most influential Dancing on Ice contestant. Then we've also used an Instagram earnings calculator to calculate how much every contestant could make from one post on Instagram based on the number of their followers and engagement rate. Then we put these findings in a nice press release and an email, and we found the relevant journalists with a tool called Roxhill, where we looked at journalists who covered the show in the past 30 days and sent the findings and the press release to these journalists. And then the links started landing like this and this and this and many more. I hope this inspires and shows you that you can build links with simple and basic campaigns.
More recently, you've been selling links and PBNs. Have you seen there being more of an efficacy and more effectiveness around links and around PBNs since AI is going to come into Google search?
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any difference. The only difference will be in terms of like economy and money flows, because now content is cheaper. So you can spend more on links, more on domains. This is, I think, a good thing for us because we don't do anything with consent. So a larger portion of budgets will go to our company. It's hard to see this play in reality because everyone is so badly hurt by this helpful content update that like we don't have any website, so we don't feel the pain directly. But people are just licking their wounds and they don't come and buy domains and links. So indirectly, it's hitting us too. So I think that our backlinks generally work. They are mostly homepage links. So what we have is a high quality PBN, which means website restored from the archive with every page they possibly got on the archive from every day. So hundreds to thousands of pages per website. Unfortunately, Google doesn't reward these websites with a lot of organic traffic because their own page is terrible. No keyword optimization, like no decent titles, headings. They are not mobile friendly.
As well. Right,
yeah, they're just very, very old. So websites from 15 years ago. I think the biggest problem is that they're not mobile friendly, and that whoever person gets there was like, oh, I went into a time machine and just closes the website. So all the like user metrics will probably also be terrible. And yeah, Google, with some exceptions, Google won't rank them. You know, they're indexed perfectly, the links give value, but they're not ranked. And I think this also dispels the myth that you need to have websites with traffic for the link to move the needle, because our websites, most of them don't have any traffic, but all of the buyers are super happy. So definitely the links work.
Yeah, 100%. We build links off of, DR90s and stuff all the time, off of niche edits, and those pages don't have traffic, but the site has 100 million visitors, right? And those links work significantly better than, DR10s that maybe that page itself has got 10,000 visits a month from Google, but the DR90 is so much more effective that it's piling on significantly more, even with the traffic here, right? So in terms of building these PBNs, because you've got such a large PBN network, how do you go about diversifying it? You must build a lot of different hosting solutions, a lot of different themes, CMSs, websites. You said you rebuild a lot of stuff there, so that probably removes a lot of the legwork around rebuilding websites and stuff. But how do you go about, especially diversifying those PBNs when you're building them?
So there's several points to diversifying. If you use WordPress, so making classical PBNs, you need different WordPress themes and not having the same plugins, etc. on the same website. We don't use WordPress. We restore with Archivarius to static HTML. This makes placing the links later a little bit more annoying, but then you can use cheaper hosting or your own server. You can just put Cloudflare, different Cloudflare accounts. You can make as many of them as you want. They're free. On top, and you can have basically just a few servers or a few shared hosting and a lot of Cloudflare. I think Cloudflare now hosts such a big portion of the internet that it's safe to have 80% Cloudflare, maybe 20% something else, so just leaving the hosting DNS. The whois is now gone after GDPR, so that's not a concern. Even keeping the domain on the same registrar, if they are not like all thousands of domains in the same register. In this case, I would prefer using like 5 or 10 registers. But if you have 50 domains on the same register, I think it doesn't matter. Google uses for whois the API of domain tools, which doesn't really have this function to pull all of the domains on the same register with the same easy query as pulling all of the domains on the same whois. I don't think that's a big concern. So you always register your PBN domains on a private person, real person, because you might get checked with sending real person, real address, because you might get asked ID cards and utility bill. And then it will always be private. If it's a company, it depends on the registrar. Some registrar say, oh, it's a company, so GDPR doesn't matter, so they will show the owner. And once the owner is out, it's a problem because Google can see this via the domain tools API. All of the domains on the same company, reverse ownership, so then you're in danger. But yeah, different websites, different whois, different name servers, and I think you're safe even if the IPs below the Cloudflare are more or less groups, like not completely the same, but not completely different. I think it's fine. I also think that the SEO hosting business is just selling snake oil, because having all of your websites on different IPs is not how most of the internet works. Most of the websites are on shared hosting website builders. They're all on the same IPs. I don't know if it's still the same, but when I last checked, all of the websites on Shopify were on one IP, like millions of websites. So yeah, the internet is not really natural to have everything on a second IP. So this servers is actually people selling you a fingerprint. I don't think that it will ever become a problem, but just saying that it's not something worth paying for at all.
Yeah, 100%. So save your money, basically, is what you're saying, and spend your time elsewhere on things that actually matter more importantly. So I really appreciate you coming on. Is there anywhere where people can find you online?
Well, they can find the domains and links at SEO Domains, and they can just search my name. My name is unique there. I'm the only person in the world with this name, so I'm super easily findable. Just search Kalin Karakehayov on Facebook. We also have a nice Facebook group, with the new SEO group, with some nice discussions. But yeah, I'm mostly on Facebook, and I'm very easily contactable there. So yeah, if you have any questions or need any help with domains, we also know people in most of the domain registrars. So we have domains in gray niches shut down for abuse. That's my chance to really help you in a meaningful way, like contact some people I know and maybe get the domains unblocked. Wow, it's a big problem in some gray niches. I cannot promise for every registrar because I don't know people everywhere, and of course the people I know may refuse to help, but still it's possible to help in these cases.
Wow, okay. So yeah, you're the first point of call whenever I hear somebody getting their domain blacklisted. And also I think we share the same thing in common, where it helps a lot in SEO when you have a unique name and nobody else on the planet has your name, right? I have
definitely a good thing. Yeah.
100%. I appreciate you coming on. I'll put a link in the description to all of the stuff that you mentioned, and I'll link to your Twitter and LinkedIn and stuff as well. I appreciate you coming on once more. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Thanks for having me. Bye.